foundations which will bring stability once the Imam of our time returns. This foundation is the foundation that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam set out to build, and Amir al-Mu'mineen and the rest of the Ahlul Bayt. This foundation that was taught to us on the day of Karbala, on the day of Ashura. The foundation of Islam, the foundation of akhlaq, the foundation of respect to one another. Now, this foundation is something that we can all work on within ourselves. It is something that it is a duty upon us to work on, if we even want to think about being anywhere near the time of the arrival. Because the Imam wants followers to have the akhlaq of the Ahlul Bayt, the akhlaq of his grandparents. He wants to have those who took the lessons of Karbala and applied it to their own lives. Brothers and sisters, these are the foundations that we must build in our lives. We must prepare ourselves, we must armor ourselves, we must weapon ourselves with the verses of the Quran, with the akhlaq of the Ahlul Bayt, with the respect that they showed others. That is how we should spread the message of Imam Hussein. We take from what they told us to do, we take from their mannerisms, we take from their lessons. Taking from someone else on behalf of them is wrong, because who knows more than the Ahlul Bayt? Who knows more than those who speak with the words of Allah, those divine individuals who speak the divine word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they tell us to do something, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, when they give us a rawaya or hadith, we take it in our lives. Especially when the Prophet told us he left behind two weighty things, the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. This hadith is written in all the books. Majority of the books, Sunni and Shia alike. Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. We take the riwayat from the Quran. We take the ayat from the Quran. And at the same time, we have to balance it with the hadith and the riwayat from the Ahlul Bayt. Because if you look at the scale, if you take one of them away, the scale will lose its balance. They have to come hand in hand. The Ahlul Bayt are the walking, talking Quran. The Quran alone does not suffice. The Quran alone could do more harm than good, because you will not know how to do tafsir of the Quran. You will not understand the Quran. You will begin to take ayat out of context. You take ayat out of context and then you apply it to your own self. You give it excuses. You say this is what we should do, like this so-called ISIS terrorists and such groups. They take ayat from the Quran and they say this is the actual reason for them. They take them out of context without any basis, without any tafsir, without the lessons of the Ahlul Bayt. They look at individuals like Yazid la'natullah alayh and Muawiyah la'natullah alayh, and they use them as their guides, as well as others who oppress the Ahlul Bayt. May Allah remove His mercy from them all, those who oppress the Ahlul Bayt. No, our guides, our light, our nur are the nur of Allah. Our nur are the Ahlul Bayt. And the last of that nur, the last of that string of divineness is Imam Sahib al-Asri wal Zaman, the Hujjah. May Allah hasten his reappearance. And he is the Imam of our time. And the one who does not know the Imam of his time dies the death of an ignorant one. Therefore we must strive to understand our Imam, to understand what our Imam wanted from us. How do we prepare for him? How do we achieve that foundation that he wants us to build? We look at, for example, how he reacts to Karbala. And I come back to Karbala every time because we see that every lesson that you could ever possibly want to learn in this universe occurred in Karbala. Everything that was taught to us in religion was shown in Karbala. The universe revolves around Karbala, and more specifically around the tears of Zainab. May my life be a sacrifice to her. So we take those lessons, and the Imam of our time says, لَأَبْكِيَنَّ عَلَيْكَ بَدَلَ الدُّمُوعِ دَمًا. I'll cry for you blood instead of tears. He will mourn day and night for his grandfather Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Now if the Imam of our time, is telling us he does this, let alone the fact that he doesn't even have to tell us, my followers do this, my followers cry for the Imam, even though there are riwayat, thousands of riwayat and ahadith. But no, this is a living example. He says, I will cry for you blood instead of tears. Now, there are many who say, especially in the West, because at the end of the day, many of us live in a Western community, many of us live in a society where we have to explain these things to the world, we have to show the world who the Imam is. So many people ask, how can you believe in a man who's over 1,000 years old? How can you believe in such a figure? It's impossible for someone to live for over 1,000 years. The answer was simple, brothers and sisters. We say, go back in time. Look at the prophets of old, the prophets of the books, of the religions. Moses, all the religions believe in Prophet Moses, alayhi salam. Nabi Nuh, let's put Moses, we'll come back to Prophet Moses. Nabi Nuh, how old was he? How many years did he live? He lived for well over 1,000 years, and it was normal. It is written in all the books and all the historical scriptures that he lived over 1,000 years. It was something very normal. So why is it a surprise? Why is it a surprise for a man now to live for that age? It is something very simple, brothers and sisters, and it's not something that came. It's not something that came at his time. He wasn't born, then all of a sudden we knew about the 12th Imam. This has been something that has been set up from us from the beginning of time. And we see this through the hadith of Rasulullah. There are many hadith from Rasulullah which says, which warns us or gives us a heads up on the coming of the 12th Imam and our duties towards him. See, the Imam of our time, there's a riwayah that he said, our followers, his followers, so he says, our followers, they yearn to see me. They are waiting for my appearance, but they are not ready to see me. Now, if the Imam is telling us this, does this not break your heart? The Imam of our time should be closer to us. The Imam of our time should be closer to us than our loved ones, than our family members, than our parents. The same way we say, بِأَبِي أَنْتَ وَأُمِّي يَا أَبَا عَبْدِ اللَّهِ. I say, بِأَبِي أَنْتَ وَأُمِّي يَا حُجَّةَ اللَّهِ, Ya Imam al-Mahdi. Because we should be willing to sacrifice our lives, we should be willing to put our lives on the line for this Imam. He will be the only one who will be able to achieve a just Islamic country. A just Islamic country cannot be run by any man, any fallible man. It can only be headed by the Imam of our time, an infallible, divine figure. That is the Imam Sahib al-Zaman. The same way Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Lion of God, the way he led the country. This is Imam al-Mahdi, his grandson, waiting for us to prepare the foundations for this country. Not to establish the country, because that is his role. He will establish the country for us based on his conditions. We are not ones. I am in no position to come and speak on behalf of my Imam. I'm in no position to establish a country on behalf of my Imam. No, it is his role to establish the country, but it is my role to build the foundations, which is to better myself. Inshallah, we will continue with this topic after a break, looking at the Zawar of Imam Hussein calling out, Labbayka ya Hussein.
40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. Walking because in our rising is priceless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. 40 days and counting.
His 40th comes and the heavens hear a call. Descends on Karbala each lover and angel. The father leaves behind his wife, children and all. The mother carries the children that barely crawl. Men swear by their women, women by their children. No death on this road will bring to us distress. Walking because anything else is worthless.
40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. Walking because in our rising is priceless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Descends on her dust every nationality. The only language is of lovers of Ali. The father tells the son, get dressed and get ready. Forget your nation today, your Karbala'i. We rode to her bends, the millions descend. Every road to her bends, the millions descend. No fear almost in the face of death, careless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. Walking because in our rising is priceless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. 40 days and counting.
The call of the man that serves Karbala's water. Drink Abu Ali's water and curse Harmala. Fatima watches, of who do we remind her? Qasim, Layla, Abdullah and Ali al-Akbar. Both the young and the old. Every hand her hand holds. She breathes breath into the one that is breathless. Walking because anything else is worthless.
40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. Walking because in our rising is priceless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. He who serves us food, who does he see behind him? He sees on his feet pouring the food is Qasim. When they reach Karbala's border, who welcomes them? Abbas cries out, O servants of Hussein, welcome. his brothers by his side, his mother cries in pride. His brothers by his side, his mother cries in pride. Abbas, bring me one of their children to kiss. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. Walking because in our eyes he is priceless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. 40 days and counting.
When to carry her child she is unable, the mother pulls her son in a makeshift cradle. The old who can't walk as their legs are unstable find their wheelchairs pushed by all those capable. Both the rich and the poor walking to the same door, all one. He who is poor finds himself needless, walking because anything else is worthless.
40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. 40 days and counting, Karbala we're coming. Walking because in our eyes he is priceless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless. I see a young girl and if like she is holding, she reminds me of Ruqayya. I start crying. I see a woman at the roadside. She's standing. She reminds me of Zainab for Abbas waiting. She stands there all alone and cries, even hearts of stone. She stands there all alone, cries, even hearts of stone. The tears that flow, watching these things are endless. Walking because anything else is worthless. Walking because anything else is worthless.
باسم رب الشهداء الحسين الشهيد. Welcome back, dear viewers, after a break. After the viewing of the Mashayikh, I'm sure your heart yearns that you are here alongside the pilgrims. Alongside the pilgrims visiting Imam Hussein, and your sins being abolished and your hasanat growing and multiplying. Before the break, we were discussing the country, the dawla, the true Islamic state of the 12th Imam, and our roles. Now, each person in such a country, when the Imam returns, each person would have their role, each individual. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're a child, whether you're an old man, each person will have their role and their position in that country. So each person needs to understand their role perfectly. Me as a man, I can't take on the role of a woman. Now this may be a sensitive topic to some, but it has to be said. I cannot take on the role of a woman. At the same time, a woman cannot take on the role of a man. It is not saying that they are not equal, but it is saying they are both unique in their own ways. Why does the man have to be able to do everything a woman can do? At the same time, why does a woman have to do everything a man does? No, you have your uniqueness. You have something special about you. And that special, unique trait based on your gender is something the Imam wants, because you are living the embodiment that Allah has given you. Allah has given you a gender, you are you're living that agenda. That is one minor point I wanted to share. But in general, each person has their role. Each person has a profession that they can and a skill that they can contribute to the dawla of the Imam, the country of the Imam. Yes, being a Rajul Deen, being a scholar is something great. You are spreading the knowledge of the Ahlul Bayt, but that is not the only thing the Imam wants. The Imam wants people who are educated in all paths, in all forms of knowledge. He wants doctors, he wants engineers, he wants scientists, he wants scholars, he wants those who serve the Zuwar, he wants people to mourn for Abu Abdullah, Rawadid, Mullahs. Everything that serves Islam, serves the Ahlul Bayt is welcome and is needed in the country of Imam al-Mahdi. Many people believe, many people say, in fact I've had this discussion many times, that, you know, why am I going to uni? Why am I, for example, finishing my university degree and getting a bachelor's or a master's in psychology, for example, or in engineering? When the Imam comes, it's going to be all out war, you know? No, this is a misconception. The Imam, when he comes, he will bring justice to the lands. When the Imam comes, he will fight things like oppression, he will fight things like poverty. And we need to be his soldiers, we need to understand the world, we need to be involved in the politics, we need to be involved in every aspect of this world to be able to aid the Imam. We need to look at the orphans of the world. We need to look at those who are living in poverty. And we need to act upon this. We need to aid them. We need to give them a way to live their lives, offer them skills. Giving money is not enough, brothers and sisters. It is helpful. It is a big helping hand. It is not enough. We need to invest in people. We need to invest in peoples and their skills. We need to invest in cameramen. We need to invest in training directors. This is very important. People involved in media to bring the message of Imam Hussein and Imam Al-Hujjah and the whole of the Ahlul Bayt to the world. Allow the world to know who these figures are that we are willing to sacrifice ourselves for. We need people in media, we need people in politics, we need people in medicine, we need people in psychology. Because when the country is established, these Ansar of the Imam, these followers of the Imam, they will be the ones who aid him and help bring justice to the lands. On that note, brothers and sisters, we'll go back to a quick short break and we'll come back to the final part of the show, inshaAllah, where we'll conclude of how we can fulfill the requirements needed for the Imam. So join us after the break, inshaAllah.
Sons left me and never came. Life will never be the same. The whole night she's shouting. Sons left me and never came. Life will never be the same. Al-Banin is asking, where are my sons? They are now gone, and in my life no loved one. My tear is now dropping on my cheek. My tear is now dropping on my cheek. Sons left me and never came. Life will never be the same. I am praying and reading the only book I will start to search and look. When they left me, my heart and my soul they took. When they left me, my heart and my soul they took. Sons left me and never came. Life will never be the same. On the way I'm waiting and nothing I see. My four great sons to my heart, they are the key. On the way I'm waiting and nothing I see. My four great sons to my heart, they are the key. Husain also left and never came to me. Husain also left and never came to me. Sons left me and never came. Life will never be the same. Am I going to see my
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back, dear viewers, from the final part of this live show here on the way to Karbala, this divine pathway which has been stepped on by the feet of the Zawar Imam Hussein. Before the breaks, throughout the show, we have been talking about the country of the 12th Imam and our duties and our responsibilities in such a country. Now, these responsibilities, they don't require as much as people think. They are simple. Yes, they require effort, but they are simple. They are you bettering your akhlaq, you bettering yourself. So the Imam is ready to say, these are my Shia. These are my Shia, the ones who are good even to the enemy, who show respect even to those who are bad to them. Once we fix our akhlaq with the world, then the world will listen to us when we tell them, I have Imam Hussein, I have Imam al-Mahdi. When we tell the world such things with akhlaq, they are willing to listen. But when we come out in a rude manner and tell the world, you know, this is my Imam, and you start fighting with everyone, no one's going to listen. So through our akhlaq, brothers and sisters, we need to show the world, you know, this is the mannerisms that Rasulullah taught us. These are the mannerisms that Amir al-Mu'mineen taught us. We were taught to take care of the orphans. We were taught to feed the poor. If not for the Ahlul Bayt, we would not know right and wrong. How can we neglect the fact that they are the ones that taught us? All the worldly scholars, all the poets that people look to, all of them go back to the Ahlul Bayt for their lessons. Yet why do we end up listening to these poets and un-Islamic scholars, let's say, and forget the source, the Ahlul Bayt? The Ahlul Bayt are the ones that taught the world everything. Alhamdulillah, our maraji' have advised us on how the Ahlul Bayt wants us to behave through the deriving of ahadith and riwayat. And they've helped us understand that Hussein unites us. That Abi Abdullah al-Hussein is the banner that covers all. When I call out, when I wish to come out and say, this is my brother, I say, this man unites with me under the banner of Labbayka Ya Hussein. Because the banner of Labbayka Ya Hussein is the banner that stood against oppression and against tyranny. and it stood for justice, it stood for akhlaq, it stood for salah. Brothers and sisters, salah is very important. We must not neglect it. It stood for salah. Once you fix your salah, then your acts, everything you do will come smoothly. All your duties will come with ease. We need to bear this in mind, brothers and sisters. If we are willing, if we every day say, Allahumma ajjil waliyak al-faraj, and we read Dua al-Faraj every day, then we need to not only just say them like they are normal words, no, we need to act upon what the Imam wanted us to act upon. Because that is what will want him to take us on board. Yes, people say there are only 313 along his side, but they are only the generals. His companions, his followers will be many, and inshallah we are all his followers, and inshallah he welcomes us into his camp. Because the camp of Imam al-Hujjah is the camp of Abu Abdullah. And us saying, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum فنفوز فوزا عظيما. When we say this in the ziyarah, when we come to Imam Hussein and say this is the same as saying it to Imam al-Mahdi. Because he is the Imam of our time. He is the grandson of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. So when Imam comes, we should be willing to give our lives like we have been saying every day. Like we have been saying, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum to Imam al-Hussein. Because Imam al-Hussein, we say, Bi abi anta wa ummi. Do you know what this statement means? We all say it. We all say it in the ziyarah, in the dua. It means, may my father and my mother be a sacrifice to you. Now, I'd never sacrifice me personally, I'd never sacrifice my family, my parents for anything in the world. But for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, there is no doubt, there is no second thought in my mind. Because Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is the word of God. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, may my life be a sacrifice to him, is the one who gave everything. He gave his family, he gave his friends, his companions. He gave his life, he gave the life of his infant. All for us. So we live a life, a sinless life. We live a life of freedom, a life of pride, a life of following the Ahlul Bayt. How can we neglect such a thing? How can we neglect what Imam al-Hussein has done for us? How can we not appreciate the sacrifices that he done for us? No, brothers and sisters, we need to show appreciation like we would show appreciation to a friend when they give you a gift. This man gave you everything. And we need to honor him by walking to him. We need to honor him by establishing majalis in his name, by spreading the message to the world. Because it is the banner of Labbaik Ya Hussein that unites us. And it is Hussein alayhi salam. It is Hussein that unites us. And with that, we ask the world, are you ready for the return of the final Imam? Are you willing to better yourself for his reappearance? Inshallah, this is food for thought. And this question, you can ponder upon it. And hopefully you can join us tomorrow, inshallah, at 4 p.m. GMT time or 7 p.m. Iraq time with a very special guest, inshallah, Sheikh Muntadhar al-Karbala'i from Canada. Thank you very much, dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.